Hey guys, John here. Today I want to make a relatively quick video about something that's really important, and I think what's getting a lot of the comments on some of my SIG videos, because obviously a lot of the SIGs have decockers. CZs also have an issue with their slider release being humongous, and if they have any decocker versions, that the decocker gets in my hand and starts cutting me up. So I want to talk about what the kind of widely accepted grip is currently right now through defensive teachers, instructors, right up into the pros who shoot competitive. I've done classes, and I go to matches every weekend, and I watch how people shoot and talk to people. Some of the best competitors in the world. So they use the two thumbs forward approach to shooting a handgun with a lot of pressure on the firearm off their weak hand. So we're going to go over how that works and kind of why that can give problems to the other sorts of platforms of kind of more antiquated guns like the 226 and stuff like that. So we'll start with my 19. It's safe, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with how to grip the pistol with our dominant hand. Okay, so what I want you to do is I'm going to kind of turn it sideways here like this so that you can see how you could do it at home, but I'd be doing it like this with the back of the gun facing myself. So for you it would be like this, okay, and I'll kind of pull you in here just a little bit. Now I want you to hold the front of the gun. Okay, not the muzzle, just the front of the gun with your thumb and the base of the palm of your kind of index finger here, just like this. Okay. Now I'm going to take my right hand and my dominant hand, and this is called the Y or the V of or the web of your hand. Okay, and I'm going to stick that up as high as I can into the hilt of the gun. So look, no space between the back of the gun and my hand. This is bad. This is good. Bad. Good. The higher you get up there, the better. The more you'll be able to control the pistol. A lot of times when you grab a gun like this, first-time shooters will get a lot of limp-wristed jams, so like stovepipes and stuff. Okay, so up high. Once I get to this grip, okay, up high, I'm going to wrap my 3 bottom fingers around the gun, okay, and that can cause my squeeze. And my index finger and my thumb stay as high up and off the gun as possible. Now I can take away my left hand, okay? So it should look like this. Thumb off the gun, index finger off the gun. Now, a lot of people mistakenly think that their right hand or their dominant hand is the hand that does the majority of the work while shooting a pistol. And it's not really true. A lot of people say 60% with your left hand or your weak hand, 40% with your strong hand. Some say 70-30. Me and my friends say 100-100. I'm doing as much work with both hands as possible because I really, really, really want to control this gun as much as I can. So, left hand. How do we get our left hand on the gun? This is usually where most of the problems happen because a lot of people neglect their left hand and they don't realize that it really does a lot of work in recoil mitigation and aiming the pistol. So, how do we get it there? So what I want you to do is I want you to take your index finger and imagine that I'm the target now because you'd be looking at me. And I want you to point your index finger kind of at my face or my chest, just like I'm doing to you. And I have my finger spread down, okay? Now, I'm going to take my hand at the wrist, like this, and I'm going to rotate down so that my thumb is now pointing at the bad guy or the target in front of me, or me if you were here looking at the video, okay? Now I take that hand, I keep all those fingers close together, and I'm going to take the base of the palm of my hand right here, and I'm going to fill in this black plastic part on the gun, or metal part, whatever it is, okay? So it's going to go to the gun. All 4 fingers are going to go under the trigger guard, not up here. All 4 go under the trigger guard, and the heel of my hand, how do I get here, sits in onto the pistol frame. Now, once we get this far, people neglect their thumbs. They think, okay, well, I got a good grip on the gun. Well, a lot of times when people grip the gun like this and they don't have good trigger control, they'll start shooting low left because they don't have pressure up here on the side of the gun. They have a lot of pressure on this side, a lot of pressure down here on the bottom, a lot of pressure down here on the bottom, but no pressure up here on the top left. So guns will start pushing to the left. So, how do we remedy that? A lot of people you'll see on the agency guns or build-out guns, they'll have like an angled cut right here on their frame. I don't like that. I've had them before. It's not my thing. And what they do is they put their thumb on that piece of plastic right here. Okay? And my right thumb will go over the back of my left thumb, and my left thumb will get pressure onto the side of the gun. Now watch. As I aim my pistol, I don't want both elbows down. I want right elbow kind of down, left elbow turned up, and I'm going to drive my thumb into the gun by pulling with my pinky fingers, and my ring finger, I'm going to drive my left hand into the gun. So it'll look like this on the right. That's my left hand. Okay, so I have a nice high grip. Look how high I am. And now on the other side, again, I have a nice high grip, and all my fingers are under the trigger guard, and I'm getting a nice tight forward squeeze, backward squeeze, left squeeze, and right squeeze, everything. So I'm really controlling the firearm. Now, that is the proper way, or widely regarded as the proper way to grip a pistol, semi-automatic pistol. Not a revolver or anything like that. We'll talk about that later. So, that's how everybody shoots. In the competition world, 99% of people shoot like that. In the defensive shooting industry, as far as I understand it, I've been in it for a while, almost all instructors, unless they're from 1940, hold the gun and teach to hold the gun with 2 thumbs forward, heavy pressure on the left or the weak side, and a nice tight squeeze. So, how does that become a problem when I'm shooting SIG? Well, SIG 226s have a big decocker that sticks way out of the gun right here, kind of awkward grips. So when I go to get my left hand on the gun and I roll my elbow up to get real full pressure on the gun, and the gun recoils, and let's be honest here, a 226 has a fair bit of recoil because of how much mass it has on the slide. And listen, you can't cheat physics. You put more weight on the top, reciprocating, you'll have more perceived recoil. That is a fact of life. There's no argument there. The higher the weight above your hand, reciprocating back at you, the more perceived recoil you will get. No matter what. That's physics. Okay? Physics. So, the higher I can get up on the gun and the lower the mass is that's reciprocating, the better. So, when I squeeze the gun here like this and I'm shooting a 226, that decocker that hangs out right here starts jamming into my hand. And after about 300 or 400 rounds, I'll start to get a cut right here. And that's it for match day. You know, like once you start hurting and you're thinking about something other than the targets, you're going to start fucking flinging shots. And it's just not a platform for me. Any gun that has a big decocker here, it's just not, it's an antiquated design. It's not a platform I'm comfortable with. So, the other issue that CZs have, like CZ75, I love them. They're great guns, okay? I just can't shoot them well because of the grip that we're taught now, okay? And it is functionally more useful than any of the other grips that we'll go over here in a second. They have a big slide release that sticks way out. And I think you can buy flattened ones or something. And if I was going to run a CZ, I would try to either mill it or have it flattened down or something because they're humongous. And they sit right on the palm of my hand there, and I can't get real good full pressure on the left side of the gun, so I start throwing shots left. And I know that you can say that's a training issue, you can say that's trigger control, but why would I spend the money on that gun when I could have a gun that has a nice flat side and I don't have the issue with? So, I mean, the arguments can go circular, and I'm not going to deal with it. It's an antiquated design. Is it working? Yeah, it works great. Is there better options available now? Absolutely. Okay? So, here are mistakes people make. This is number one. I see this at the range, I take the gun away from someone. I go like this. What the fuck is that? What are they doing? What are you doing? I've seen this 3 times now in my career where I haven't been able to catch someone before they've done this first. When they shoot, what does this slide do? It reciprocates. As much pressure pushing back as the bullet coming out the fucking front. So if your thumb is sat up here on the back, what's going to happen to it? You're going to take your thumb off. And I've seen it 3 times. Someone cut themselves with a Ruger LCP with the little angles coming out the back right down to the bone. One was a Beretta. He went up over the beaver tail to hold the back of the gun and cut his 92. Cut him here. And I think the last one was, it could have been on a Glock. I think she just grabbed the back of the Glock and it cut her here on the front because she grabbed it so high like this. So, and that's usually a case of my boyfriend taught me how to shoot rather than going to the range and actually learning from a professional. So we can't stop it all when we're there and we're watching everybody and the boyfriend walks up behind you and it's just a problem. Boyfriends, don't teach your girlfriends how to shoot guns unless you're a certified instructor. Okay? I mean, don't be an asshole. Stop being an asshole. Alright, so that's the number 1. They thumb the back of the gun. Number 2, they teacup. Now, there's 2 reasons why that's not good. Number 1, when you have a magazine and a Glock, let's see, the Glock magazine hangs out the bottom a little bit here. So if I'm putting pressure on the bottom of my magazine and the gun is cycling, it can cause malfunctions and feeding malfunctions, failure to feed properly into the chamber. So the gun will recycle, and since I'm pressing up on the magazine, that the geometry of the bullet that's about to get loaded into the gun as the slide comes forward gets all fucked up, and it either nosedives or it comes up high or off to the side, and that can happen just from the pressure on the bottom of the magazine. So don't do that. That's number one reason. Number two reason why is if I'm shooting here and I'm teacupping, what does the gun want to do? Where does it want to go? Where does it want to recoil to? It want to recoil to the path of least resistance. So if I have no pressure here on the left side of the gun, where's the gun going to recoil? It's going to go up and to the left, up and to the left, up and to the left. So essentially, you're shooting the gun one-handed. I don't understand. Now, I'm not a religious man, but I went to medical school, and in medical school, we had a very religious surgeon who was rough. And we'd be doing surgery, and if one of us took one hand off an instrument, he'd whack us with his I don't know, forceps or something in the hands and say, God gave you two hands, use them both. So basically when you're doing this, you're not using this left hand. So take a second, get a good grip, use your left hand or your weak hand, okay? Don't teacup. Now, the second thing I see a lot of is, and we kind of went over this in the normal grip, they get halfway there. They get a good grip. This is the third thing, okay? They get a good grip. And then they just let their thumbs ride way out here. And I'm assuming that's because the fucking decogger. I see a lot of people shooting SIGs like this. I don't understand this. Again, this is a case of path of least resistance. Where's the gun going to recoil? Up and out, up and out, up and out, up and out. So again, you're going to start pulling shots left because you don't have pressure here. And you're going to have to start dealing with a lot more recoil through your right hand. Again, this is one of the reasons why people think your right hand is more important than your left hand. Because they actually just don't know how to use their left hand. Okay? So in essence, when you grab the pistol, if you grab it improperly, okay, and say you do this, and you're in a defensive situation, okay, you're fighting for your life, and you thumb the back of the gun like this, and you take your first shot, and you break your thumb, I'm now one-handed. And I have to fight for my life with just one hand. I've essentially taken myself out of the fight just by grabbing the pistol the wrong way. Okay? That's a problem for me. Not okay. Now, also, when it comes to teacupping, I draw up, I might be able to get my first shot off, I go to teacupping, and then all of a sudden I get a jam. What if there's 2 or 3 attackers? I gotta work my malfunctions, better make sure I'm good at that if I'm teacupping, or fucking lose the fight. Now, thumbs off to the side here is a little bit different. The reason why I'm cautious about this one is because I've seen a lot of these people that hold guns like this shoot to the far side. So whatever side is not getting pressure on it, they'll start pulling this way, especially if they don't have good trigger on the finger discipline. So, finger on the trigger discipline. So if they're putting too much finger through, they're going to shoot low left. If they're putting not enough in, they're going to start pulling high right. So you really want a nice, just kind of the middle of the kind of pad of that finger. Not too much onto the tip, not too much here in the knuckle unless you have humongous hands, then you got to work about something else. I would start putting on bigger grips if that was the case. But so this is what I would recommend. Nice, kind of middle of the pad of the finger, good left hand pressure on the side of the gun. Look how high I'm riding up there. Look how high. That's stupid high. You want high grip, recoil management, 101. Okay, the higher I get, the better the recoil will be, or the less the recoil will be. So this goes for the same for all guns. Look, I have a 17. Again, empty. Okay, with the light on and everything, I grab it the way I'm supposed to grab it. I get my grip, 3 fingers around. I get my left hand, I angle it forward. I grab my gun, and now look. What can I activate? Oh my God. It's funny how people who design guns and firearms and stuff put buttons where they're supposed to be so you can activate them with your grip. Now again, if I'm teacupping, can I turn that light on? Fuck no, I can't. Okay, I can't. If I'm going thumbs off, can I turn that light on? Nope. If I press my left thumb onto the side of the gun and just slightly slide it down, guess what? I get my momentary. This is on fucking purpose. People design this on purpose, okay? So if you're holding the gun in a different way than this, you're fucking up. Stop commenting on my videos, okay? Especially the SIG guys. You are fucking up. You're not holding the gun right. So, even down to the 26. Here's a 26. Empty, okay? I don't have much to hold on to. I have just my 2 fingers. Again, it's the same principle. Okay, thumb up, finger off. I engage with my left hand, thumbs forward. Now I can address the trigger, and I have a real nice high grip. This is how you shoot a small gun. That's why you can shoot small guns, because the smaller they are, the harder they are to shoot. Especially if you don't know how to hold it. So the smaller they are, you have less to hold on to. If you're not holding it correctly, you're going to feel more recoil. You're not going to want to train. And guess what? It's going to become a save queen. And all of a sudden, the gun that you bought to protect yourself with is doing nothing but serving as a paperweight. Just because you don't know how to hold the fucking thing. So, go take a class. Go learn how to hold a pistol. Okay? 2 thumbs forward. High pressure on the left hand. Good trigger control. Sights to the eye. Okay? Really do yourself a big favor and go practice this. Seriously, go practice this. Good pressure on the off side of the gun is extremely important. And having your hands where they need to be and repeating it over and over again off your draw so the gun comes up to where it needs to be and in the correct hands. Now, I gotta say, shooting competitions really will open your eyes to this. Okay? You're under the clock. People are watching. There's multiple targets. If you fuck up, they stop you and they throw your ass out. So, go shoot USPSA competitions. I can't tell you enough. If you're just an avid shooter, go buy the gear. It's $120 for some mag pouches and a holster. Go get it done, okay? You will change your life and your ability to shoot forever. Go take a class, a tactical class. But really, what I would really like to see more people doing is buying the proper gear. We'll make another video on that too. And going to shoot matches. It really is something that's going to change your shooting fundamentally for the better. So I recommend that. Stay safe. Go out and have fun. Practice this grip, guys.